Good morning everyone, here we are live again. It has been a little while since my last one. Life gets in the way, but we also need to have some more dishwasher tablets in our household, so I thought now's probably a good time to actually do another video and show you just how quick and easy it is to make your own dishwasher tablets. The good thing about these is they actually do work. They're not containing any chemicals like your store-bought ones. We're just using 3 very simple low-tox ingredients that hopefully as a low-tox DIY you now have in your pantry. If not, you know where to find them at my shop. And it really is so quick and easy to do this. The fantastic thing is, like last night hubby said, we're out of dishwasher tablets and I can just whip some up today. And it will take a few hours for them to dry, but it means I don't have to worry about going to the shops. So of course they're also more cost effective, and I'm using my essential oils and I'm not putting chemicals onto our lovely clean dishes. So without further ado, let's get started. It really is easy. The recipe of course is on my website, but I am going to post some links for you as well. And as I mentioned, you can also get the ingredients on the website too. So don't feel like there's anything holding you back from starting on this journey if you haven't already started. I think dishwasher tablets was actually the very first thing that I actually made that got me hooked on this sort of thing. So what we need is washing soda, sodium percarbonate. For those of you that might not have heard of this ingredient, it's actually a liquid oxygen bleach. So it's most commonly known, I guess, as an ingredient in things like your laundry whiteners. Of course, your laundry whiteners also have a lot of other things in them that don't need to be there, but I have got a laundry whitener recipe that I'll be posting shortly. So sodium percarbonate is excellent for anything that you need a bleach for, or a whitening agent. Citric acid is a natural acid derived from the acids of fruit, and you will find that in a lot of products. So anything from foods through to your shampoos and conditioners and things, but of course we use it so often as a cleaning agent in our DIY things as well, and it is a key product in our dishwasher tablets. So here's some I prepared earlier, just because it takes a bit of time to spoon it all in and you don't need to watch me do that. So I've just got 1 cup of the washing soda. I'm just going to pop it in my bowl there. We have half a cup of the sodium percarbonate, otherwise known as oxygen bleach. And then we've just got 1/4 of a cup of citric acid. Some people also know citric acid, if you're already doing DIYs, it's something that is a key ingredient in your bath bombs to make them fizz. If you put citric acid with vinegar, it's very fizzy and clean. And I apologise too, I am doing this as a live, but I do have the camera a little bit further away and I'm hoping the lighting's okay for you to be able to see what I'm doing. I also can't read if anyone's writing messages, although I would love you to jump on and just give us a wave if you're watching. So I'm just mixing that around a bit. So just to reiterate, we've got 1 cup of washing soda, half a cup of the sodium percarbonate and 1/4 of a cup of the citric acid. Then of course we need to add our essential oils. Now really it's up to you which oils you'd like to use, but a good rule of thumb is to use citrus oils. The good thing is they're really cost effective. They're one of the cheaper oils to buy, but also they're great at cutting through grease and being used as a degreaser and cutting through. I also just love the freshness that they bring. Today I've chosen to do a combo of grapefruit and lime. You can just take the caps off, I just love getting that lift. So citrus are really uplifting, refreshing smells as well. And it's a beautiful combination. So I know I've mentioned this before, but if ever you're wanting to experiment with different combos, the best thing to do is to just stick the 2 bottles together and smell them and go, yeah, that works. So we're going to do 30 drops in total. So let's see if I can do double. But you know, as with most of this stuff with DIY, I'll let you know if there's an exact science to it, but this one, give or take a few drops, it's really not going to matter. So I've done 15 drops of each, and I'm just going to mix that through my powder. One thing I would like to mention as well, even though we're working with low tox, low chem ingredients here, it doesn't mean that you want to be specifically getting these into your respiratory system. So just be careful when you're using DIY, especially if you've got young kids. Charlotte does help me make a lot of my stuff, but particularly with things like washing soda and even the coconut soap, there's the very fine particles that can sort of catch in your respiratory system. So don't get too close. If you're really sensitive to these things, you can, of course, wear a mask, but I'm not taking things quite that far. So I've just mixed that in. Doesn't look very exciting yet, so I won't show you the bowl, but this is sort of where the magic happens. So this is pretty much what does the cleaning, and to make it into the tablets, I've just got plain tap water here in a spray bottle, and I'm just going to do a few gentle sprays. Now we don't want to spray too hard or too vigorously or put too much in all at once for a couple of reasons. One, you will notice, I don't know if you can see that there, but probably hear it, the citric acid is now starting to fizz up, so we don't want to get all the fizz out of the citric acid all at once. We want to keep some fizz in there, and we also want to make sure we're keeping an eye on the texture as well. So we just do this part slowly. So you'll mix it through and you'll sort of see that it starts to combine a little bit. We'll give it another few spritzes. I also do tend to sort of spray around the side of the bowl, not directly onto it. Now this step to make the tablets, you actually don't even necessarily have to do. Depends on what sort of environment that you're living in. Some really humid environments, you can actually just put them in the moulds and leave it out on the bench, and the humidity will actually make all the ingredients stick together. But I kind of just do this as a safekeeping, and quite frankly I find it quite therapeutic to be stirring and getting it all to come together, knowing it'll work. The other thing is, if it just ends up as a powder, that's okay too. And sometimes you will find that, again, depending on the weather, sometimes when you've got your tablets all in your jar, you'll get some that come apart, you'll have powder at the end. Of course, you can just chuck that in your dishwasher as well instead of your tablet, or along with your tablet if you need some extra. Okay, so I can see this is sort of starting to come together now. So I'm going to just do a couple more spritzes. So the consistency I'm looking for, and this I guess is the important part where you say how much is too much, is you don't want to get it too wet, because as I say, you want to keep that fizz still in the citric acid. But the consistency we're looking for is damp sand. And you kind of say, well, what does that look like? But you kind of just know it when you know it. And the more you make it, the more you'll understand the texture that you're looking for. And again, like, it's really not an exact science. Don't worry if you don't get it right the first time. Oh look, I'm noticing the lights going in and out. I do apologise for that on the video. I hope it's not too unbearable for you. Just thought this was a good place to show you the lovely view I have from my kitchen and dining room. And it also meant that I didn't have to clean up the kitchen too much in the video. Okay. So, I think we're nearly there. I'll show you what it looks like now, and then I'll probably give it just one more spritz, I think. So, if we can sort of see what this looks like, it's sort of starting to come together. Not so much there now, so I might do a little bit more. So it's starting to come together a bit more like damp sand. So before you could actually see it was all dry ingredients, whereas now it's all sort of starting to combine, sorry. Okay, one last one. So this is very similar as well to when we make toilet fizzies, which I can do a live on soon. Actually, that reminds me, I did want to mention as well, I know that this video, you might not be watching it live, you might be watching it on YouTube many months or years after the fact, but part of my, I guess, new expanded business is that I wanted to be able to offer workshops for people, and of course with the whole COVID-19 thing taking the world by storm, things changed and I didn't get to actually follow through on doing those workshops. However, I would like to, as we're now sort of starting to open up and come back to normal, I do want to get back into doing that. But I am going to start with some online workshops through Facebook, and then I'll gradually take that beyond Facebook as well. But I'll start on Facebook, and I'll do some workshops where you can actually sign up, pay a small fee, and I'll send you out the ingredients so you've got everything you need. You'll then be able to work with us in a group environment, have the support of others that perhaps are new to DIY, and sort of we'll do lots of videos and chatting about DIY low-tox living. And I want to have a theme for each. So say you're just a bit overwhelmed and not sure where to start, and you think, well, maybe I'll start with detoxing the laundry. That's somewhere that you might currently use a lot of chemicals. Then I will do, I'll have a workshop on laundry detox where we can make some laundry powder, laundry liquid, fabric softener, dryer balls. There's a few things, I won't give all my secrets away now, but that will be coming up. So do keep an eye on the website and the social pages, and I'll be advertising that. So this is now actually quite perfect, if you can see that. So the way I've done that is I know that when my spatula sits on there and you don't get much falling, that's actually starting to look pretty good. You also notice there's just a bit of movement in it. It's a bit of a hard thing to describe, but as you're stirring it, it kind of just falls in a certain way. But as I say, until you give it a go, that's really the best way to understand what you're looking for. So the final step in the process, which as you can see is pretty quick and easy, is obviously just to make your tablets. So all I've got is a teaspoon here, and I'm just spooning it into my moulds. And I'm not going to make you sit through and watch me do all of this, but I'll do a few for you. Again, no sort of art form to it. So, scraping off there. And I use a teaspoon because it's small enough to get into the gaps to just be able to press it down. So these moulds that I have here, these are $2 ice cube trays from Woolies. And I believe that Coles and any other reputable supermarket would also have them. Of course, these are washable as well. They're just silicone ones. I find that they're easiest to be able to pop the tablets out of. So what you might find as well, so I've just done 6 here. I'll finish the rest off the video, but what you might find is after you've pressed them down, you're going to then sit them on your bench, and I just usually leave mine go overnight, but because we do need tablets for tonight's dishwasher load, I will probably pop them out by the end of the day. It should be alright, it's a fairly good day today. But what you might find is as you've got them on the bench that these start to rise up a little bit, and that's perfectly fine as well. So that's just the chemicals kind of all reacting, the low tox chemicals I should say, reacting with each other, but that's perfectly fine. So once they are dry, so yeah, leave them overnight to be safe, but usually it's only a few hours that they need. Then I just get a paper towel and I pop that down on my kitchen bench, and I just gently pop them out and then pop them in a glass jar. And I've got dishwasher tablets for, I don't know how long this lasts, months really. We have the dishwasher on probably once a night. Sometimes we can get through 2 days without putting it on, depends, but it lasts a really long time. So I hope that's been really helpful for you. If there's any questions, please do pop them in the comments below. Again, I apologise, I haven't really been able to watch and keep along to see if there's been any so far. But I love having you with me. I love that I've got a whole heap of new likes and followers. I think a lot of people have used this isolation time to really look at what's important to them and to try new things. And I think that that's also including looking at making a lot of products which are healthier for you and healthier for your home, and that just really does make me so pleased that that's happening. It's obviously something that's dear to my heart, so please do keep following along, like and comment on my posts and stories to let me know what's appealing to you. If there's something that you would like me to do a live or a workshop or any information you'd like, please do let me know. So I hope you all have a great day in Melbourne here. It's a beautiful day. I'm in Mount Evelyn and it's always a little bit cooler up here, but the sun is shining and it really is glorious. So I'm looking forward to a good and productive day, and I'll speak to you soon.